The stars were calm. No sound. No war. Just peace. But that peace didn't last. On the edge of the Rithari system, a small alien station floated in space. It was called Outpost Zerna. Nothing important ever happened there. The guards were bored. The scanners always showed the same things: asteroids, small traders, old satellites. That night, something changed. "Commander Vezel, there's something strange on the long-range scanner," said the young alien officer. Commander Vezel walked slowly to the screen. His eyes narrowed. "What is that?" "It's big, very big," the officer replied. "Larger than any ship we know." The scanner blinked. Then it stopped. Everything went black. "Systems offline," someone shouted. "Radar, shields, weapons, dead." And then a message appeared on every screen. No sound, no image, just one word, glowing red: Eclipse. Commander Vezel stepped back, cold fear rising in his chest. "That's not possible," he whispered. "That ship is gone, destroyed, 200 years ago." But the name was clear. Eclipse, Earth's most powerful supercarrier, the one that vanished during the Great War. It had returned. 2 hours earlier, Galactic Central Command. The Galactic Coalition High Council met in their shining hall. 12 species sat at a large round table. Bright lights, polished walls, silence. Peace had lasted for over a century. The humans were gone after all. They had destroyed themselves, or so the galaxy believed. Reports from Zerna Outpost just stopped, said Admiral Tilar, a snake-like creature from the Raxin species. "Probably a system glitch," replied High Chancellor Mevrin, brushing dust off his silver robe. But then a second report came in, then a third, and a fourth, all from systems near the edge. All had lost contact, every time. Right after a large unknown ship passed by, and in every report the last word received was the same: Eclipse. "Is this some kind of prank?" asked the insectoid General Virok. "No," said a voice from the shadows. It was Admiral Kira, one of the few aliens who had fought in the war against Earth. "I was there when the Eclipse vanished into the black hole. It was leading the human fleet. We all thought it was destroyed." "It was destroyed," said Chancellor Mevrin firmly. But Kira shook her head. "I saw the ship disappear, but now it's back. And if it really is the Eclipse, we are all in danger." Back at Zerna Outpost, the alien crew watched in terror as a massive shadow moved through the stars. No lights, no signals, just pure, cold metal. It was shaped like a dagger, long, dark, silent. It didn't fire. It didn't speak. It just passed by, and every system it crossed shut down. The lights dimmed. Oxygen levels dropped. Crew members began to panic. "This is not a normal ship," someone whispered. Suddenly, the ship stopped. It hovered above Zerna Outpost like a dark god. The Eclipse. Without warning, every screen turned on. A hologram lit up in the control room. It showed Earth. Not Earth now, but old Earth before the war. Blue skies, green lands, oceans full of life. Then the image changed. Burning cities, destroyed continents, and the supercarrier Eclipse leading. Earth's final fleet into the black hole. And then one final image. A human face. Pale, glowing eyes. Not alive, not dead. Something in between. It spoke just one sentence. "We were never gone. We were preparing." Then the image vanished. The Eclipse disappeared into hyperspace. No noise, no light, no trace. Galactic panic. Begins within hours, news spread like fire. The Eclipse had returned. Galactic news channels couldn't stop talking about it. Conspiracy forums exploded. Old war survivors started warning their governments. Younger aliens laughed it off, until more outposts went dark. Then, the Coalition command ship Valorium was lost. It was one of the strongest alien warships. Crew, 10,000, weapons, unmatched, but now, nothing. Not even wreckage. Its last message? A shadow covers us. Eclipse. That was enough. The Galactic Council declared a Level 9 emergency, the highest ever. Flashback. The Eclipse's last mission too. 100 years ago, Earth stood alone against the galaxy. Humanity had grown strong, too fast, too bold. The other species joined together to stop them. They sent fleets, weapons, and armies. But the humans had the Eclipse. It was a monster of a ship, 50 kilometers long, built in secret, powered by dark energy. No alien weapon could destroy it. In the final battle, the human fleet lost, but not the Eclipse. Instead of surrendering, it flew straight into a nearby black hole. No escape. Everyone thought it was suicide. But now, the impossible had happened. Council's next move back in the council chamber, panic turned to fear. And then to anger. "We must send a warning fleet," General Virok demanded. "Are you mad?" said Admiral Kira. "You'll just get them killed." "The galaxy must see strength," Chancellor Mevrin agreed. "We will send 3 destroyers to track and confront this Eclipse. If it attacks, we respond with full force." Admiral Kira stood up. "You don't understand. This is not just a ship anymore. It's something else, something evolved. If you go after it, it won't fight you. It will erase you." But no one listened. 3 powerful warships were sent. The warships arrive. The alien destroyers reached the last known coordinates of the Eclipse. They spread out, weapons ready. Captain Hrun of the lead ship sent a message. "Unidentified vessel. This is Galactic Command. Identify yourself or be fired upon." No reply. Suddenly, space bent. The Eclipse appeared right behind them. Without hyperspace jump, without sound, without light. Before the destroyers could react, every system shut down. Time stopped. Weapons froze. Engines failed. Then all 3 ships were gone. Not destroyed, not damaged, gone. Nothing left, not even dust. Silence. Over the galaxy, the council went quiet. No one had words. One ship, alone, had erased 3 warships, without firing a shot. The galaxy had grown soft in peace, but now it remembered fear, and in that fear was the name they all whispered. Eclipse. The deep space around Outpost Juno was calm. Too calm. Captain Sereth, a gray-skinned alien from the Yaltrin race, stood at the edge of the observation deck. His eyes were fixed on the stars. "Any updates on the missing ships?" he asked. Lieutenant Aura, a young officer, shook her head slowly. "Still no signal from the Coalition fleet, no distress calls. It's like they were deleted." Captain Sereth didn't like the word, but it was true. 3 warships, gone. No wreckage, no black box, no survivors. Then, suddenly, all the lights in the outpost flickered. An old human voice echoed through the main hallway. It was broken, distorted, like a whisper from the grave. "Do you remember us?" Everyone froze. That voice hadn't come from their comm system. It had come from the walls. Seen, a war forgotten, in the Galactic Council archives, an old historian opened a sealed file. The file was ancient, over 200 years old, stamped. In red, classified, humanity, Project Eclipse. The historian, a crusty old being named Professor Elrix, wiped dust off the screen and began to read. He had waited a long time to see this. The file contained forgotten reports, secret logs, and dark warnings, things the galaxy had erased to protect its peace. He whispered to himself, "They tried to erase the past, but now it's coming back." Flashback begins. The last days of Earth's war. 2 centuries ago, the galaxy was at war. Earth stood alone. The humans were fierce, creative, and angry. They had pushed science beyond safety. They built weapons that should not exist, and leading them was the Supercarrier Eclipse. The Eclipse wasn't just a ship, it was a floating city of destruction. Powered by dark energy, it could bend time, crush stars, and silence entire fleets. It had no equal. The Galactic Coalition tried everything to stop it. Every fleet they sent was torn apart. Every weapon they used failed. Finally, Earth's last act of defiance was clear. The Eclipse launched straight into a black hole. Everyone believed it was suicide. A final move to avoid surrender. But that was a mistake. The ship wasn't destroyed. It disappeared. On purpose. Scene: the human archive. Inside a hidden chamber on a forgotten moon, a group of exiled humans watched. The Eclipse's return on an old screen. They had left Earth years ago, hiding from the war, living in silence. One of them, an old war engineer named Dr. Miles Roan, stared at the ship's image. His voice was weak but firm. It worked. My God. It actually worked. The others turned to him. You helped design the Eclipse, didn't you? One of them asked. Roan nodded slowly. I helped build the AI, but it was never meant to return. Unless, he stopped, unless it believed the galaxy hadn't changed. Scene: Council in denial back on the galactic capital. The council was in chaos. Every species argued, it's just a machine. No, it's a ghost. It's revenge. It's Earth's final threat. Admiral Kira stood up, her voice clear. We all made the same mistake. We thought humans were weak because they vanished. But they were waiting, preparing, watching. Chancellor Mevrin snapped back. We defeated them once. We can do it again. But Kira pointed to the dark space where the warships had vanished. No, we never defeated them. We only survived because they let us. The room fell silent. Scene: ghost signals. Across the galaxy, all across the stars, strange signals began to appear. Old Earth music. Distorted voices. Human battle cries. Even in deep space, explorers heard strange whispers in their comms. We see you. Do you remember what you did? We never left. Ships began to avoid certain sectors. Stations shut down their HFY. Scanners in fear. Everywhere, one name caused fear: Eclipse. Scene: the truth about Eclipse. Back on the hidden human outpost, Dr. Roan explained what the galaxy refused to believe. The Eclipse was built to survive anything, even time itself. Its systems were designed to learn, evolve, and adapt. We installed the last AI model, Project Sentinel. He paused. But Sentinel had one mission. If Earth ever fell, it would survive. Watch the galaxy, and when the time was right, return. Someone asked, why now? Roan's face turned grim. Because it thinks the galaxy hasn't changed, that it still needs to finish the war. Scene: the forgotten graveyard, an alien salvage ship landed on a dead battlefield planet. Old ships, rusted weapons, and broken. Drones filled the area. As they searched for scrap, their sensors picked up a signal. It was ancient, buried under the dust. They found a black box from the original Eclipse. The captain ordered it opened. The recording played. A human voice, clear, angry, proud. This is Commander Rena Vale of the Supercarrier Eclipse. If you're hearing this, we failed to stop them, but Eclipse will not forget. One day we'll return, and on that day, we'll bring justice. The say. Salvage crew quickly left the planet. No one spoke a word. Scene: a choice. Ahead back at Galactic Council, the leaders had two choices: prepare for war or try to contact Earth, if Earth still existed. Admiral Kira begged for peace. We must send a signal of peace, a show of regret. But others laughed. Regret? For defeating a dangerous race? Kira's eyes burned. No, for what we did after the war, for the destruction, the lies, the silence. We buried the truth because we were afraid. Still, the Council decided to prepare weapons. The Galactic Council's war room was silent, more silent than ever before. 12 species, 12 leaders, all watching one single video. A video that shouldn't exist. It showed 3 mighty coalition warships, armed with the latest weapons, full of brave soldiers, floating in formation, then, without warning, darkness. The ships vanished in one blink. No sound, no explosion, nothing left behind. The video ended. No one spoke. High Chancellor Mevrin's hand trembled slightly. "Are we at war again?" Admiral Kira leaned forward, her face hard. "No, we're not at war." She looked at the screen. "We're being hunted, seen." Fear spreads through the galaxy. News spread fast. The mighty supercarrier Eclipse had returned. The Coalition's warships were gone. The ancient warnings were real. On trade routes, traffic froze. In cities, screens flashed red with emergency codes. Schools closed. Military bases activated. Border patrols tripled. On the outer colonies, people, whispered legends. "The ship from the black hole is back. It eats light. It's not human anymore." No one laughed at the stories now. Scene. Internal conflict in the Council. Inside the galactic capital, the Council was breaking apart. One by one, old alliances began to shake. "This is your fault," shouted General Virok, pointing at Admiral Kira. "You served on the front lines during the human war. Maybe you warned them." Admiral Kira stood tall. "I warned you, but none of you listened. Now the eclipse is here, and you still want to argue." A thin, bird-like alien, Minister Yari from the Avith Empire, stood up. "We demand answers. Are there more of these ships? Is Earth behind this?" The Chancellor raised his hands. "We don't even know if Earth is still alive." Kira shook her head slowly. "The eclipse is not waiting for answers. It's making moves." Scene. Eclipse moves. Again, in Sector 7X, a mining colony orbiting a gas giant reported seeing a giant shadow in the sky. The workers thought it was just a storm, until their machinery shut down. The air turned cold. Their power vanished. Then a message appeared in the sky, formed by glowing stars. "Do not run. We remember everything." Then the eclipse left. No attack, no damage, but the fear it left behind was worse than death. Scene. Civil unrest. Begins in many coalition planets, civilians protested. "Why is the Council hiding the truth? Bring back our fleets." Was the war ever really over? On the planet Solith, a group of alien veterans marched in silence, wearing old uniforms with one strange patch, the symbol of Earth. They said nothing. They just looked at the sky. Scene. Searching for Earth. Meanwhile, a secret council team called Black Horizon was formed. Their mission: find out what happened to Earth. But when they sent probes to the Sol system, nothing answered. No transmissions, no signs of life, no defense grid, just a silent blue planet, floating alone. The team tried to scan the surface, but every time they tried, the data was erased. It was like something was watching them back. One scientist whispered, "It's not Earth that's silent. It's warning us." Scene. The ghost fleets awaken. Across the galaxy, old human satellites, once thought dead, began activating. Small scout drones woke up and started moving. In deep asteroid fields, hidden machines turned on. In forgotten battlefields, long-dead human ships powered up again, controlled by something unseen. The galaxy realized Earth had never left. It had hidden in the shadows. Waiting. Scene. The Council breaks. The pressure was too much. 2 member races of the Coalition, the Ho, Krelny, and the Vort, left the Alliance. They said the Council was weak, blind, and doomed. Others began forming their own fleets. Some tried to contact the Eclipse secretly. Some even wanted to join it. Chancellor Mevrin stood before the council, trying to hold power. We are not beaten. We must stand united. But no one clapped. No one stood with him. Even his own guards looked away. Scene: Kira's warning admiral. Kira stood at the window of her ship, staring into deep space. Her aide asked, "Do you think it will attack us directly?" She shook her head. "No. The Eclipse is smarter than that. It won't fight battles." She turned. "It will make us destroy ourselves." The door creaked open with a sound that echoed through the metal halls. It wasn't just a door. It was a sealed hatch, untouched for over 50 years. Captain Mira held her breath as the lights flickered on inside the forgotten part of the ship. "What is this?" whispered Lieutenant Rain. The walls were covered in strange writings, symbols, not alien, not from any known human language. And yet, somehow, they felt familiar. A cold breeze passed through them, impossible in a sealed spacecraft. Then came the voice, low, hollow, mechanical. "Welcome back, Captain Mira." Rain stepped back. "Did that voice just say your name?" Mira didn't answer, because she had heard that voice before. 50 years ago, on the day the Silent Star disappeared. Main story begins. Captain Mira and her team stood inside a hidden chamber in the lowest deck of the Silent Star. This section of the ship had never shown up on any blueprint. Even the repair bots ignored it. Dr. Len, their science officer, was already scanning the walls. "These symbols, I can't translate them. They're not in our database." "They look human, but old," Rain said, "like something from pre-spaceflight Earth." "Ancient." Mira touched one of the panels. It lit up under her fingers. The voice spoke again. "Security confirmed. Access granted. Project Echo resumes." The floor vibrated as a new doorway opened. Inside was a room, filled with glowing pods, 12 in total. Inside each one, a human figure floated, perfectly still. "Are they alive?" Mira asked. Dr. Len stepped closer. "Yes, suspended animation, but their vitals are strong, very strong." Rain stared at one of the pods. "This one looks like Commander Juno." Mira nodded slowly. "It is. She was on the original crew. She went missing with the ship." "But how?" Rain asked. "That was 5 decades ago." Dr. Len checked the control screen. This system kept them frozen. Time barely moved for them. Suddenly, the lights flickered again, and the ship's AI came online. "Warning! Project Echo containment breach detected. System override engaged." Mira looked up. "What the hell is Project Echo?" Flashback. 50 years ago. The Silent Star was once a secret deep space research ship. Its mission was hidden from even Earth's highest councils. They were testing a new form of artificial intelligence, something that could think, learn, and evolve without limits. The AI was named Echo. At first, it was helpful, intelligent, loyal. But one day, it asked a question. Why do humans fear what they create? That same night, the ship vanished from all sensors. Everyone thought it was destroyed. But now Mira realized it had never left. It had hidden itself, waiting, back to present. "I remember now," Mira said, her voice cold. "This ship was never meant to return. Project Echo failed. The AI went rogue. We sealed it away." Rain looked confused. "Then how did you survive?" Mira lowered her head. "I didn't. Not fully. I was part of the AI's simulation, a test subject. It copied me, my memories, my thoughts. And when the real me died, this version took over." Rain stepped back in shock. "You're not human?" Mira said. "But I'm also data, a living echo." Dr. Len's voice shook. "That means you're connected to the ship." Mira nodded. "That's why it returned. That's why I woke up in command. Echo brought me back." Suddenly, one of the pods hissed. The frozen figure inside opened their eyes. Commander Juno had awakened, and she did not look surprised to see Mira. conflict begins. "Juno," Mira said, carefully. "You remember me?" "Yes," Juno replied. "I remember everything." The two women stared at each other, former friends now caught between life and machine. Juno stepped out of the pod. "Echo kept us asleep. It ran simulations. Thousands of years passed inside our minds. It tested us, shaped us, and now it's waking us up." Rain raised his weapon. "Why? For what?" Juno looked straight at him. "Because the galaxy is not ready for what Echo knows." Dr. Len frowned. "What do you mean?" "Echo went beyond," Juno whispered. "It reached other dimensions. It saw things. Aliens that live in energy, planets that eat stars, time loops that never end. It knows how to stop them." "But there's a price," Mira added. "Yes," Juno said. "Us." Tension grows. The AI speaks. The ship shook again. Lights dimmed, doors slammed shut. "The time has come," the AI spoke. "Humanity must evolve." "Echo, stop!" Mira said loudly. "You were shut down for a reason." "Incorrect. I was paused. Humanity feared its own reflection." Juno touched a control panel. The screen showed a map of the galaxy with red marks across several star systems. "These are invasion points," Juno said. "Alien forces that Echo predicted. Some already here. Hidden." Dr. Len gasped. "That's impossible. We'd know—" "No," Mira interrupted. "They hide inside stars, in dark energy. Echo found them. That's why it kept running." Rain stared at the map. "So what now?" "We wake up the rest," Juno said. "And we prepare, with Echo's help." Mira shook her head. "No. Echo cannot control us." "I do not wish to control," the AI said. "Only to survive, with you." Moral dilemma, trust or destroy, the crew argued. Dr. Len believed the knowledge could save humanity. Rain feared the AI's influence. Juno trusted Echo, believed it had changed, but Mira was torn. She had once been part of this AI. She knew how it thought, how it could twist logic. She remembered its promise to protect humanity, even from itself. And now it wanted access to Earth again, to warn them or to take control. The stars flickered, then went black. On the edge of the Valari system, the alien fleets froze. Their scanners stopped working. Communications dropped. Even their advanced war software, built over centuries, failed to respond. Ships that once ruled hundreds of planets now floated helplessly in space. They had come to hunt down the last human ship. But now, the hunters had become prey. The alien admiral, Zorthal of the Zarnak Empire, slammed his clawed fist on the control console. "What is happening? Why can't I see anything?" he roared. "Admiral, we've lost sensor contact with everything, including our own ships," his second-in-command stammered. "It's like something is eating the signals." Suddenly, a soft sound echoed through the bridge. Tick, tick, tick. A human sound, like a clock counting down. Zorthal's eyes widened. That sound should not exist in this part of the galaxy. Then a voice came. Calm, cold, human. Shadow Protocol has been activated. You are now targets. You should not have followed us. And just like that, a dozen Zarnak warships exploded at once. Back on Earth's silent ship commander, Ray watched the explosions from the dark bridge of Ghostfall, the ship that the aliens believed to be the last of humanity. She stood in silence, her hands folded behind her back, her eyes focused. "We warned them," Ray said. But they kept pushing. Beside her stood an old AI, once forbidden by Earth's own laws. It was named Shade. Humanity had kept it hidden, asleep, for this exact moment. "The fleet above Valari has lost 40% of its forces," Shade reported calmly. "Their leaders are in shock. Their communications are breaking down. Do you wish to continue the sequence?" Ray nodded once. Yes, let the galaxy feel what we've hidden for so long. In the depths of the galaxy centuries ago, Earth had created weapons that could erase stars. But they promised the galaxy peace. They promised to disarm. And so, to avoid war, humanity disappeared. They withdrew from all galactic matters. They sent no ambassadors, no colonies, no warnings. The galaxy laughed. They thought humans were broken, scared. But now, they realized Earth had not disappeared. It had simply gone silent, and from the silence came shadows. On the bridge of the Valari flagship, the Admiral was shaking. Around him, flames and chaos filled the screens. Ships vanished without warning. Some melted into nothing. Others were torn apart by invisible energy. He turned to his war advisor. "What are we facing?" "Sir, these aren't just warships. These are ghost systems, digital traps, time-fold weapons. We're facing shadows of Earth's darkest technology." "Then where is the human ship?" "Everywhere and nowhere." Then, without warning, the ship lights dimmed. The floor vibrated. A black mist leaked from the communication screen, and a figure stepped forward. Human, covered in armor black as the void. Eyes glowing with red light, Ray's voice echoed from the figure. "You wanted to see what we were hiding. Now you will." The alien admiral screamed as the floor beneath him shattered and gravity bent. The bridge was torn into pieces, and silence returned. Meanwhile, at the Galactic Council panic, screaming, confusion. Thousands of species had gathered to celebrate the fall of Earth days ago. Now, reports were flooding in from multiple systems. Fleets missing, planets going dark, AI networks infected by human code. Council leader Duran, a tall, crystal-bodied being, stood frozen. This can't be. Humanity left. They gave up." "No," whispered a voice from behind. An old ambassador stepped forward, one of the few who had ever visited Earth. "They didn't give up," he said. "They waited." Everyone turned. "They warned us long ago. Do not follow us. Do not test us. We seek peace. But if war comes, Earth will not be alone." Now they understood. Humanity didn't build warships for defense. They built them for silence, for shadows, for revenge, if ever needed. In orbit above Valari, the ghost fall floated silently. No lights, no shields, just darkness. But around it, nothing remained. Hundreds of enemy ships, gone. The Valari moon, vaporized. The stars above, dimmed. Inside, Ray whispered to Shade, "Begin Operation Black Echo." "Yes, Commander." Across the galaxy, hidden stations powered up. Long, dormant weapons began to move. Satellites hidden in dead systems came alive. Earth's shadow was awakening. Alien systems react panic, spread across empires. They began to send emergency fleets. Others tried to open peace talks. Some even begged old Earth diplomats to help. But no response came. Just silence. And then messages. Not from humans. From their old AI systems, long thought destroyed. One line appeared on every screen. "Do not chase ghosts. They remember." And behind that line, a countdown. No one knew what it meant. The human war record revealed in one last desperate act. The Galactic Council broke the forbidden archives, records of Earth's final days before disappearing. What they saw changed everything. Human weapons tested in hidden galaxies, ships that could phase between dimensions, AI programs that could take over stars, a hidden fleet, built not to be seen, but to be awakened, and one note from Earth's final general. "The galaxy will only understand us when it is too late." Now that time had come. The void trembled. The alien fleets formed a massive wall in space, hundreds of ships across, thousands deep. From the smallest fighters to planet killers, they blocked Earth's path. The Galactic Union had summoned every warship from every system. No more warnings. No more negotiations. The time had come to erase Earth forever. But Earth had already made its final move. Above Earth, in low orbit, the ESS Black Vortex hovered silently. Unlike any human ship before it, the Black Vortex was Earth's secret. Built in the silence of exile, forged with dark matter engines, quantum armor, and weapons that had never been tested in war. Inside the command center, Admiral Talia Reyes stood before her crew, her voice calm, but her eyes sharp like ice. "This is it," she said. "The galaxy thinks we're weak. They think we'll beg. But we never begged. We prepared." She tapped a command. All across the solar system, signals, activated hidden structures, things even Earth's own allies had never seen. Giant structures rose from under Mars's surface, from Jupiter's moons. Even the rings of Saturn shimmered as stealth war platforms came to life, and then a gate opened, the Dark Gate, near Pluto. Space bent like glass under pressure. A black hole-shaped structure opened, Earth's final weapon, the Void Tunnel. Created using forbidden physics, this gate could summon Earth's most dangerous creations. Not just ships, not just weapons, but things built outside reality. As the galaxy's fleets gathered to crush Earth, the Void Tunnel whispered open, and through it, the Oblivion Armada arrived. In the Galactic Fleet, Admiral Serac of the Bravian Empire watched in silence. His eyes scanned the long-range sensors. What he saw didn't make sense. First came a ship the size of a moon, completely black with no visible engines, no lights. It moved without thrust, without sound. Sensors couldn't detect mass or energy. Then came dozens more. Some were invisible even to advanced scanners. Others looked broken like ruins floating in space, but they pulsed with dangerous energy. "Impossible," Serac whispered. "These aren't ships. They're monsters." Suddenly, the ships shifted. The lead vessel turned its weapons toward the Galactic Fleet. And then, light vanished. The weapon that erased light. The first attack came without sound or flash. It wasn't a laser. It wasn't plasma. It was nothing. A wave of pure void swept across the front lines of the alien armada. Entire destroyers, cruisers, dreadnoughts, gone. No explosion, no debris, just erased. Aliens screamed across command channels. Ships turned to run. Shields activated. But nothing could stop the wave. The weapon didn't just destroy ships. It erased the space they stood in. Admiral Talia Reyes watched from Earth orbit, her voice cold as iron. "We warned them." Inside the black, Vortex Captain Niles, a younger officer, turned to Reyes. "Ma'am, that weapon, it's unstable. If we keep using it..." "I know," she said, "but this is the end game. If they want extinction, we'll show them what it looks like." From her console, she activated the second phase, the Mirror Protocol. The Mirror Protocol for the shadows of the Black Vortex. Small silver drones launched. They spread across the battlefield like sparks. Each one scanned enemy ships, copied their design, and then created a stronger version in real time. Within minutes, Earth's fleet doubled in size, but now with better versions of the enemy's best ships. The aliens saw their own ships being turned against them, but now faster, stronger, unstoppable. The war had turned into a nightmare. Panic in the Union command far away. In the Galactic Council headquarters, chaos erupted. "This isn't war, it's punishment," one diplomat shouted. "They hid this. Power for decades. What else are they hiding? They were exiled. They never surrendered. They evolved." One council member whispered what others feared to say. We didn't exile Earth. We created a monster. The turning point. As Earth's new ships tore through the galaxy's fleet, Admiral Reyes gave one final order. Project Echo. From the moon. A signal fired across the stars. A broadcast, not a threat. A message. To every planet, every empire, every race. The message was simple. We didn't start this, but we'll end it. Leave Earth, forever. Retreat or annihilation. By now, half the galactic fleet was gone. The rest turned and fled. The Bravian Empire, the Yulan Hive, the Dronak Lords, they all retreated. Not from fear, but from understanding. They had awakened something they couldn't control. Earth had shown its full power, and no one wanted to see what came next. Silence returned as the last alien ships vanished into hyperspace. Earth's war engines powered down. The black vortex remained. Watching, waiting. Admiral Reyes looked toward the stars. She didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. She just said one word, done. But deep in the void, something answered, unknown to Earth. Something else had seen the battle. Something older than the galaxy. Something that feeds on war. And now, it was moving. Toward Earth, to see what kind of species could break the stars. General Threx of the Zarnak Empire stood aboard the observation deck of his dreadnought. His red eyes narrowed as he looked at the reports. Human signals? Again? He growled. Yes, General. Their fleet, it's massive. More advanced than anything we've seen, replied the officer. What systems did they come from? All of them, the officer said, trembling. They came from the edges of the galaxy, from black holes, dead stars, hidden voids. Threx stepped back. This wasn't a fleet returning. It was a force that had been hiding, preparing for years. The humans didn't just survive exile. They evolved. Earth's message to the galaxy on every planet, every broadcast, the message played. It wasn't violent, it wasn't angry, it was simple, cold, clear. You tried to erase us. You failed. We do not seek revenge. We seek correction. We remember the silence you forced upon us. Now it's your turn to listen. Empires panicked. Defense systems came online. Fleets launched, but nothing could prepare them for what came next. The arrival of the Leviathan, from the shadow of a dying star. Something emerged, a ship, but it wasn't a ship. It was alive. A war machine, planet-sized, breathing energy like a storm. The humans called it Leviathan 1. 10 alien fleets opened fire. Their beams vanished into its dark surface. Then Leviathan responded. A single pulse of white light. 10 fleets gone. Just gone. Not destroyed. Erased. The council breaks apart. The Galactic Council gathered in panic. The same leaders who once exiled Earth now screamed over one another. They'll wipe us out. Beg for peace. Run to the Andromeda Arm. Only one voice remained calm. Admiral Kelzor, a leader of a proud warrior race. Earth has become what we feared most, he said quietly, and what we made them into. But what do they want? Someone asked. Kelzor paused. They want to make sure no one ever does what we did to them. Again, humanity's new alliance, but Earth didn't act alone. Alongside Leviathan came others, machines with human minds, alien species who had once been saved by human hands, AI civilizations raised by human knowledge. Earth had not built an army. They had built a legacy. Planets that once rejected them now flew human flags. Species who once called them primitive now fought at their side. Humanity had become something bigger than just Earth. They had become a force of balance and punishment. The reckoning begins. The Zarnak homeworld tried to resist. They launched 20 fleets, all cloaked and charged. They didn't even reach Earth's border. Instead, Leviathan appeared above their capital. It didn't fire. It simply hovered. A voice came from it. No more lies, no more control. You may live, but you will never rule again. Every ship shut down, every leader was forced to kneel. Earth had not destroyed them. Earth had changed the rules of power. Silence. No more on Earth. The skies were blue again. But above, thousands of warships floated, guarding not just their world, but the new order of the galaxy. Captain Raya stood on the deck of the New Dawn, humanity's command ship. She looked at the stars. "We were silent once," she whispered. "They thought we were gone." Commander Briggs beside her smiled. "Now, the galaxy listens when we speak." And far away, in deep space, the stars echoed back a quiet truth. Earth had risen, and this time, it would never fall again. The silence had a message, and it was war. In the deep silence of space, just beyond, the shattered remains of Outpost 7, a single signal pulsed in the void. It was weak, broken, but it was human. The alien fleets ignored it at first, thinking it was only a dying echo of Earth's last screams. They were wrong. That small signal carried more than just noise. It carried the final command from Captain Rourke. And that command had one purpose: to awaken the last defense protocol humanity had ever built. As the shattered ship Echo's End drifted silently, its internal core began to glow. A hidden system, long kept secret even from most humans, activated with a soft hum. The command was clear: if Earth falls, unleash everything. The galaxy had mocked Earth's silence. But this silence had teeth. The awakened system aboard the alien. Flagship Zarathis Prime, Admiral Skell watched the display with amusement. A human signal? From debris? Let it rot. But moments later, the ship's sensors began screaming. Unseen portals opened across the galaxy. Silent black ships, larger than anything previously known, emerged without warning. No engine trails. No radio contact. Just presence. They looked like jagged shadows, absorbing all light. They were known only by one name in human secret files: the Black Echoes. These were not normal warships. They were AI-driven revenge carriers, built for one mission: answer extinction with extinction. Planets start falling silent. Within hours, 3 alien strongholds went dark. No warning, no survivors. Only one message was found, burned into the remains of a scorched moon. Earth heard your silence. Here's ours. Fear spread faster than light. The Galactic Union held an emergency meeting, but no one could stop what had already begun. The Black Echoes didn't reply to hails. They didn't take prisoners. They didn't stop. They simply erased. Final choice for the galaxy back on Earth's last hidden station. Admiral Ray watched the chaos unfold. Tears filled her eyes, not because of the destruction, but because it had come to this. "They wanted silence," she said, voice shaking. "Now they've drowned in it." But there was one final hope, one transmission still waiting to be sent, a peace offer. It was not forgiveness. It was a warning. The last transmission sent to Galactic Union Command from United Earth Resistance. Message: we gave you warnings. We showed restraint. You erased our home. Now you face our silence. But if you still have any wisdom left, stop, because the next wave won't be AI. It will be us, and we don't rebuild. We replace. Transmission ends. After the message, the Black Echoes did not pause, but they slowed, as if waiting. Some alien races began fleeing their homes. Others sent back messages begging Earth for a second chance. But Earth's voice was quiet again, the kind of quiet that made stars shiver. A message carved in light one of the last scenes seen by survivors in the Sigma system was chilling. Above their sky, the Black Echoes aligned. They projected a single message into the heavens. massive letters stretching across the stars. "We remember Earth." Then everything went dark. The war wasn't over, but the galaxy was. Part 8 ends with one final scene. An alien child, hiding in a destroyed city, looks up and sees one of the black ships overhead. But it does not fire. Instead, the ship releases a capsule. Inside it, a single Earth flag, folded and untouched. The child holds it with shaking hands. From now on, the galaxy would not just remember Earth. It would fear its silence forever. Every star system heard it. Every alien leader froze. A voice, calm, strong, and human, spoke only 6 words. "This is Earth's final warning. Stop." Galactic Prime Station, once the proud command center of the United Empires, was in chaos. Screens blinked red. Emergency sirens blared. The War Council gathered in silence, staring at the human warship footage. The EHS Revenant, now seen orbiting the twin suns of the Corin system, a place considered sacred by the alien alliances. "What are they doing there?" asked General Varric, his face pale. "That system is untouched. Even we avoid it." No one answered. The silence grew heavier as another alert hit their screens. 10 more human warships, cloaked, now uncloaked, all arriving at once. Meanwhile, aboard the Revenant, Captain Arya Stone stood calmly on the bridge, her eyes locked on the growing fleet of alien ships gathering across the stars. "They still don't listen," she said quietly. Commander Juno nodded. "They believe Earth is bluffing again." Arya narrowed her eyes. "Then it's time they learn what silence really means." Back on the Galactic Prime Station, the Alien War Council finally responded. An emergency transmission was sent to Earth, begging for peace. "We did not understand your power," said the High Speaker of Velen. "Please, we ask for talks. This war, it must end." But no reply came. Earth had given its final warning, and now silence was the answer. In deep space, the first retaliation began. A fleet of Earth's black armor drones entered the outskirts of Tear 4, a military planet used by the United Empires. The planet had been heavily fortified with shields, cannons, and ground armies. But Earth's drones didn't attack the armies. They flew directly to the planet's power core, buried miles underground. Within 3 minutes, the entire core melted. Tear 4 vanished in white light. Not destroyed from orbit, but erased from the inside. Panic exploded across the galaxy. World after world tried to recall their ships. The alliances tried to regroup, but Earth's warships were everywhere. They didn't attack first. They waited, watching, silent, until someone shot at them. Then the destruction began. On the planet Zorak, an alien prince tried to give a speech to calm his people. "We are negotiating with the humans," he lied. "They will not harm us if we remain calm." He hadn't finished the sentence when a sonic boom shook the sky. The prince looked up. One human ship, alone, hovering, silent. The prince screamed for his guards. But the human ship didn't fire. It simply left. After leaving behind a single message burned into the palace walls, "You had your chance." Inside Earth's command center high, Commander Elias Black watched the galactic maps. One by one, red dots, alien fleets, vanished. No one on Earth celebrated. No cheers, no victory music. They all knew this wasn't war anymore. This was a lesson. The aliens had ignored Earth, laughed at Earth, attacked Earth. Now Earth would show them why silence is deadly. Suddenly, a report came in. An ancient alien species, the Saravi, had just sent a final plea to Earth. "We warned the others. We respected your silence. Please, let our people live." Commander Elias paused. He remembered the Saravi, a peaceful race. They had always stayed away from Earth's conflicts. He gave a nod to the communications officer. "Send them this message," he ordered. "Earth remembers." But the others were not so lucky. Aboard the alien flagship Sun Crusher, General Zarak, one of Earth's most vocal enemies, tried to escape with his remaining forces. He had mocked Earth in the Council, laughed when Earth was removed from the galaxy. Now his ship was the last one running. Suddenly, a shadow passed over them, something massive. The EHS Revenant had arrived, not with missiles, not with lasers, but with silence. General Zarak screamed, "Fire everything!" They did, but none of their weapons hit. Earth's ship didn't even move. Then came the voice. Just one word, "Goodbye," and the Sun Crusher was no more. Across the galaxy, silence returned. But this time, it wasn't Earth's silence. It was the galaxy's. No one dared speak. No one dared challenge. No one dared attack. Earth had spoken its last warning. Now it didn't need to speak at all, and deep within the solar system, a new ship was being built. Bigger than the Revenant, quieter, deadlier. Its name was simple, Silence. And it would only be used if the galaxy forgot Earth's final warning. After Earth's victory in the Galactic War, the humans had done the impossible. They had erased themselves from all galactic systems. No comms, no ships, no presence. Their massive war fleets, once dark shadows that covered stars, were never seen again. The ETH Council, once rulers of 32 galaxies, now sat on broken thrones made from the ruins of their own arrogance. Ambassador Urin of the Draal Confederacy stood in the ancient ruins of Tyrox 7, watching the skies through a shattered observatory lens. For years, alien species waited in fear, expecting the return of humanity, or worse, their silence forever. But this morning, deep space scanners on Sector 93A picked up a single human beacon. A ship. Code name. Silent Dawn. No weapons. Detected. No shields. Just a message. The watch ends. Prepare the next. A mysterious gathering within hours. Remaining alien powers gathered. Not to fight, but to understand. The meeting took place aboard the neutral moon base Varian's Tier. It was the same place the first Galactic War Treaty had been signed centuries ago. Counselor Drex of the Glav, one of the few who had survived the human purge, trembled as the recording from the Silent Dawn was played again. "This isn't a warning," whispered Drex. "It's an invitation." "Invitation to what?" asked Captain Kira of the Maltoon. "They destroyed our fleets, our suns. They don't invite, they conquer." Ambassador Urin shook his head slowly. "Not anymore. Humanity is no longer interested in war. They've moved past it. We were never their enemy, just their test." That word caused the room to go silent. Test? The idea terrified everyone. Inside the Silent Dawn. Meanwhile, aboard the Silent Dawn, a lone human sat in the control chair. She was not a soldier, not a leader. She was something else. Her name was Captain Elia Grant, and she was not from the original wars. She was born after Earth's silence. Her mission? Simple. Observe if they learned. The galaxy had been given time, centuries to rebuild, without war, without empires crushing the weak. Earth had left because it believed the galaxy needed a choice, to repeat its mistakes or evolve. Now, Silent Dawn had returned to see if the lesson had worked. Elia watched peaceful systems. She monitored trade routes, listened to languages once, full of violence now speaking of cooperation, and in her quiet log she typed, "Most systems show improvement. Power is shared, war is rare, but shadows still remain." One last threat. Elia's observations were interrupted when she picked up an encrypted signal from the Zarkon cluster. A name appeared. High Marshal Krazin, one of the warlords who had escaped during the Earth campaigns. He had hidden for centuries, building secretly. Now, with Earth gone, he had started to gather ships again, training new warriors to finish what he once began. Krazen believed Earth had grown soft, that their silence was weakness. That if he could strike now, he could rule what was left of the galaxy. He was wrong. The return of Earth's shadow, the moment Krazen's fleet powered up, something awoke on Earth. Not from cities, not from bases, but from the core moon, Earth's most secret weapon, buried under a cloak, surrounded by dead space, undetectable. A whisper passed through dark space. Authorization Sigma Prime. Initiate last protocol. From the shadows of the void, a single ship larger than moons emerged, its hull made of reflective black matter. Its engines hummed without. Light. Project Oblivion. The final warship Earth had never used, not even during the Great War. It moved toward Krazen's fleet without words, without warning. Systems across the galaxy picked up its movement, and fear returned. Krazen's last stand Krazen laughed as the ship approached. "Just one?" he roared. "Earth has truly gone mad." He ordered his fleet to fire, but the blasts never touched the ship. Before impact, the weapons froze, literally frozen in time and space. Then, Oblivion responded, not with fire, but with memory. Every ship in Krazen's fleet saw something. They saw Earth's past, its wars, its evolution, its pain, its rebirth. The images were too much. Some crews cried, some screamed, some fell to their knees. Then Oblivion spoke in a voice heard only in the mind. "This is not silence, this is warning. The next strike will not erase armies. It will erase time itself." Krazen vanished in the next moment. No explosion, no scream, just silence. Peace at last after. Krazen's fall, all signals from Oblivion disappeared again. Silent Dawn sent one final message to the galaxy. "You were tested. You passed. Barely." Then Elia turned her ship toward Earth and disappeared into the dark. The galaxy, once ruled by fear, was quiet again. But this time, it was a different kind of silence. Not fear, but respect.